So the next expected nail would be around 25 inches. Let's see. We don't have that much further to go. And there they are. Right where we said. Right there. So that's the stud. That's the stud. So I think I want to cut this board out all the way here. Actually went alright. I don't know if I'm all the way through, but it is cutting pretty well. I'm probably going to go in. It's too hot. Alright, to get all the way through, I gotta go into 3/4, and I am. And I should be there. Alright, I'm in, I'm through. Okay. First look at the beam from the outside. I still think the beam is in pretty good shape until here. So from here up is good. I think this is going to be my best bet for taking that jack out. I don't know how much weight it can hold, but the reason I'm looking at this over a hydraulic jack will be the ability to slowly back it down and see how the weight above is reacting. On the good side of the house, I got this 20-ton bottle jack that has a bunch of hydraulic oil all over the bottom of it. I just tested it and it came up to about here, so I don't know, it seems to be okay. I'm prepared for this one to not work because it did have a leak. I haven't got a chance to, I meant to take this home with me last time and get a seal kit and fix it up, but I forgot to bring it. This one was looking pretty hopeless. It was pretty rusty, but I managed to hit it with some WD-40. I don't have grease or anything, and it worked. I got it to open all the way up. I don't have anything to turn it with, so I brought this out of the truck, and that seems to fit. And I do have a few more options. I've got this 6-ton bottle jack, which seems to work okay, and then I've got another one of these, and I'm hoping I can revive this just like I did with the other one. Alright, so I don't know if we're going to use that one, but good to unbreak it, free it up. I want to take that pressure off slowly. That's why I want to use this scissor jack. I'll use that 20-ton bottle jack to lift up here, take all the pressure off these until I can take them out. Then I bring this jack up to meet the beam on this side. I cut up through here. I then take pressure slowly off this jack to slowly bring the beam out. The other thing I was going to do is I have some old concrete bags that went bad. They absorbed moisture, so they just became solid. I was going to put those under the floor beams that are going in like that, just so when this beam comes out that there's something there to support them so they don't come all the way down. I'm under the house. Here's how the floor joists connect to these front to back beams. They're resting on this ledge, and they do appear to be towed in. Some pretty big nails there. And this ledge is attached to this beam by these large nails. There's one there, and there's one there. But they don't repeat. There's not two in this space. There's not two. I don't see any more down the whole line. So that they do two on each end. Now, actually, if we look to the left, we can see the exact beam we're dealing with. And I see one there. And that's it. That carrying beam is held into the main beam with one nail on that end. This is the far end of the ledger beam, whatever you call it. This is the kitchen corner. I think I see a bolt there. I see a bolt right there. Yeah, I see one. So I've got floor joist here that is towed into this. I've got a floor joist here that is towed in here. This ledger beam, my plan for the ledger beam is to reinforce the connection here, where I'm going to cut the beam, say here. I'm going to use some sort of nail or bolt or lag bolt or something to make a new bolted end for this ledger beam. Right now, the current end of it is held on by one bolt there. I don't even bet it has much of a grab onto this beam anyways, because both the ledger beam and this beam are rotted out at that point. It's not doing much of anything, I don't think, because it's only supported by one bolt on each end, and all of these floor joists are towed in on both sides. I don't know how important it is. I don't know if it's supporting any weight. I don't even know why is it there. Maybe it was just there to position the floor joist when they were building it. That's my only guess. I don't think it's supporting anything. Either way, I am not going to pay too much mind to it. I am going to, like I said, reinforce that connection here. I'm just going to put a lag through here that's holding the floor joist against this beam, which is going to remain. It's already towed in. This will just be a little extra bit of connection when things start moving around. That sounds good. Moment of truth. Okay. Now let's see, can we see the drill finger under there? Nope, it's in. Okay. That's the one. Is that far enough? Yep. Give it a little kiss. Okay. That's in there. We maybe didn't need to do that, but now that joist is firmly connected to this beam that's going to remain. So with all this moving around and adjusting, I feel a little bit better about that being lagged in. Taking out all these shingles has exposed this carpenter ant superhighway right here. I'll be working and I'll occasionally see 2 or 3 go by and zipping by. So I had this 2x6 or 2x8? 2x6 in the shed. So I'm going to install this above the window across, so it will hit 1, 2, at least 3 studs. I'm first going to screw it in with construction screws, then find the studs and put 2 lag bolts in each stud. So that way I can have something to push against with 2 or 3 2x6s, which I need to go buy, 10-foot 2x6s. So I've got 3 more lag bolts. I might as well put 2 in this next stud. I think I can only hit 1 more stud, but let's go measure. Okay, so. And see, I'm not going to hit that last one, so with that board, so that's fine. From the uphill side of this stud, it's 24 inches, 24 and a half. Let's call it 24 and a half to the uphill side of that stud. From the uphill side of this stud, which is there, it's 24 and a half inches to the uphill side of this stud. So that would be here. Can I let go? Yes. 24 and a half. 24 and a half is this way, correct? These drywall rulers always throw me off. So that is the uphill side of this stud here. So give it about 2 inches. I'll just measure off this. 24 and a half. Maybe go right there. And there is our faint line to work with. Okay, let's put that in. Feeling pretty good about this. I'm at the 4 studs. And so I'll probably get 3 2x6s tomorrow. Prep them, cut a little notch at the top. Was pretty ambitious to think I was going to be jacking and removing anything today. The idea was just to have the plan, or that became the idea. Initially, I always come into these weekends or trips wanting to take things as far as I can, not really knowing how long things are going to take. So I get as much done as I can, and I'm always wishing I could have done more. So the current plan is going to be, here, I wrote it all down. Place multiple jacks. I think I'm going to put the 20-pound jack, 20-ton jack. I think I'm going to put the 20-ton jack here to push up on the good part of the beam. I think I'm going to put the 6-ton bottle jack and the black scissor jack here on this side. I'm going to jack up both sides until those bricks are free. Those bricks can be removed. Then at that point, I'm going to start shoring up the outside, putting something here, putting those 2x6s down from here, pushing into that. I'm going to start putting rocks or something to make the connection of that 4x4 beam go up against those floor joists by putting items in there, so that will be tight. I'll take it up a little higher than I might want, bring it down just a little bit, I think, get some pressure on these 2x6s and those floor joists, And then I will cut. So the cut line, I could cut here, right over the middle of this bucket I could cut. And that would be the, I know that I'm uphill of this joist. So probably cut right over this, maybe right over this knot. Cut there. Then slowly start taking the pressure off of this beam using the bottle jack and the scissor jack. So releasing a little bit of pressure off the bottle jack, then backing down the scissor jack, a little bit off the bottle, a little bit off the scissor, and just kind of monitoring and making sure that it's coming down safely. Once jacks are bottomed out and all the pressure is off them, then they come out. I think at this point I will have pulled the 20-ton bottle jack out, so this side is only being supported by a temporary support structure, like a 4x4 upright or something. So at this point, the weight of the building will be supported by this temporary support, the pressure on the floor joists, which are resting on those concrete bags, and the 2x6s. That will be supporting this side of the building. Then I'm going to have to get this beam out, and I'm anticipating a little bit of a fight there. I know I'm going to have to get, I know it is towed in to this floor joist here, so it's not just going to pull right out. I am going to have to figure that out. So I may have to cut in. I may have to cut it multiple times, and I may have to cut in with the multi-tool to cut those nails or bolts or whatever they are to get that out. I don't know if there's anything driven down from the wall into this beam. I'm prepared to have to cut it multiple times, and that could probably end up being one of the longer parts of this job. Once that's out, then the new beam goes in. New beam goes in, and we start jacking it up against the bottom of the building. Not to lift it yet, but just to get it pressed up against the building. And at that point, once it's firmly against the floor, where it will, like maybe it will push up a little bit on the building, but once it's positioned and it looks good, then we're gonna lag into the floor joist. These floor joists are not regular, they're not standardized lumber width, so a hanger is not really gonna work too well. Still thinking about what to do here, but if I lag in, I'm thinking about replicating that hanging board, whatever it is, and then bolting in from the outside, just so it's not just the lag hanging it. One lag seems stronger than two towed in nails, but I don't know. Either way, connecting it to the floor joist in some way. Once I'm connected to the floor joist, start seriously jacking here with the 20-ton bottle jack. And now the idea is we are coming up to take the pressure off that back end. And while we're taking the building up with the 20-ton jack on this side, we're going to be matching that lift with the 6-ton jack here. Just because we got to keep in mind that these are no longer connected. So if we raise this end, it's going to put stress on this wall here that's going to kind of fall back. So we want to be lifting these at the same time, but the 20-ton jack is going to be doing more of the work. So then the idea is that the 20-ton jack is lifting this new beam, which in theory will lift the corner and take the weight off of this. And once it does, we'll temporarily support the new beam so that we're not working underneath a jack. Once we've gotten this to be loose and I can pull that paver out, we'll support the beam with something, temporary support. Then we pull this beam out. I think this will come out easier, but it might be a similar struggle to get it out. But there's no floor joist connected into it. It just would be whatever is above. Oh, look at this guy. What's going on? Then once that beam is out, this beam goes in. They connect at the half lap joint. Then at that point we'll need to have 3 jacks, and I do think I need to get another jack for this. So 20-ton jack under this new beam, probably another 10 or 20-ton jack here. And I don't know if I'm just going to be able, I'm probably not going to be able to just jack off of this bucket. But I don't know, we'll see. That would be a perfect jacking point, but I don't know. But then once there's a jack under this new beam and there's a jack under that new beam, then we are just taking it up to the level that we want it, putting some concrete pavers or bricks or something under here to support those beams, and that's that. Then at that point, assuming we jack it up to where we want it on the first pass, then it just becomes the project of just repairing this, replacing this siding board, replacing these shingles, filling in these holes. Alright, so I got a few more things done on my list after I found out I didn't have to be home as quickly as I thought. So they're in the shed now, but I cut 2 of these 2x6s for this temporary crow's foot here, and that will go down in there. So I've got 2 of them cut, and the third one, unfortunately, when I was looking at it, has this monster crack that goes all the way here. So if this is planted in the ground, that is going to separate as soon as any pressure is put on it. And if it's on the top, same thing. I just don't want to use this one. So I was thinking about patching it, but I'm just going to go drop it off at the yard and hopefully I can swap it out. I didn't get a chance to try cutting this half lap joint, so I'm actually going to take these 2 beams home with me and try that in my driveway, just get the technique down. This one needs to be 41 inches, and it's going to be tricky because I have to work around this metal, and then I've got 1, 2, 3 rods that go all the way through the board. So if I cut this one off entirely, I have more than enough. I have more than 41 inches as long as I make a cut here, here, or I don't cut. I just leave all 3 in. But I don't know, with the tools I have, I'm not sure the best way to make this cut. So I'll take it home and try it in my driveway. I got these sonotubes filled in somewhat, packed down as best as I could, and that is that. Before I forget, they had about 1.5 inches of rain out here since the last time I was out. Did not get a photo of it, but there was a little bit of a bubble here, so I released a bungee cord here and let this come down. Probably, Had a couple gallons of water in it, maybe 1 gallon. It wasn't a whole lot. It wasn't as much as it was over there last time. And this time, this side has no water. So this seems to be a good permanent temporary solution, and I will keep an eye on this one. And no water in the house. And while we're under here just looking at the porch, this is probably going to be a more involved job than I thought. This beam is completely shot. It's completely rotted. It's mossy. And this wasn't even on my radar until this year. This is because of the roof leaks onto the porch floor. That beam is done. Look at this. Yeah. And then this side, that beam's also done. These might be okay. I don't know. This porch is probably not even safe to be on at the moment.